to the session. This is Sweta Roy, your English Master Teacher at Vedantu. Hope all of you are doing well, guys. And today we are here to deal with a very inspirational personality, Nelson Mandela. So we will be studying about Nelson Mandela, who was like Mahatma Gandhi for India. Yes, guys. So he is called the father of the nation in Africa, just as Mahatma Gandhi is called the father of the nation in India. Right, guys? And that's why the similarity. So, guys, this chapter, Nelson Mandela, is based on the autobiography of Nelson Mandela himself. So, definitely, he is going to really inspire us in a lot of ways. Let's find out how. Let's delve deeper into the chapter, guys. A long walk to freedom. So freedom is the important factor, guys, which would help us to equate the concept of freedom not just for Africa but also for India, because if you remember, Indians were also not free. They were under subjugation. They were under the foreign domination, the British subjugation, right? So similarly, the Africans were also not free. Why? Let us find out. And what about this long walk? Long walk is the long struggle to attain that freedom. So before starting off with this session, guys, let me know your inputs in the chat. What according to you is freedom? What is freedom? When I say the word freedom, what comes in your mind? Do let me know in the chat, everyone, just in one or two words. Freedom, what does it mean? Does freedom mean equal rights? Does freedom mean the freedom, the liberty? So maybe you can say freedom means liberty. Freedom means, equal rights, right? Freedom means no domination, right? What else? No discrimination, maybe somehow related to the concept of freedom. So basically, you are free, right? Let's see what happens when the freedom is snatched. When the freedom is snatched, what do you get, guys? You are oppressed. So if you are talking about freedom, it should mean no oppression, right? What are the other things that comes in your mind? Let's brainstorm a bit and put it down in the chat, guys. Okay, so those of you who do not know me, I am your master teacher Sweta Roy, and I have more than a year of teaching experience. Talking about my educational qualification, I have pursued my masters in English and B.Ed and have mentored more than 20,000 students both online and offline. And I have also qualified CTET. Guys, my motto is to unleash the power within you, because you people are powerful. Now, literature and language gives you that medium through which you can express yourselves. Again, coming to the concept of freedom. So, can we say freedom of expression, right? So, yes, freedom of creation, freedom of innovation, right? So all these things can only happen in an atmosphere of freedom, right? So literature and language will provide you that atmosphere. So guys, freedom leads to what, guys? Empowerment. Yes. So put it in the chat, everyone. #empowerment. And let's give it up for freedom, everyone. So freedom, empowerment. Put it down in the chat, guys. Okay. So now a word of the day is given by Tejas. A big round of applause for Tejas. It means the word is scanty, which you have come across, I'm sure. It means small or insufficient in quantity or amount. So put it down in the chat, your sentence, your innovative sentence with scanty. Let us see who gives me the most innovative and creative sentence from this word called scanty. Come on, guys. Come on. Everyone should frame your sentences in the chat and we will find out whose sentence is the most creative. Yes? So, how has Tejas used it? They paid whatever they could out of their scanty wages to their families. A big round of applause for Tejas and his word as well as his sentence. Let us see what is your word of the day. Please put down in the comment section at the end of the session. Don't forget, guys, you can get the chance of showcasing your word for the next session, guys. Okay? So now I have an interesting riddle before we start off with the session, and I want you to think and see the answer at the end of the session. Let's find out what's the riddle. There are 5 sisters in the room. Anne is reading a book, Margaret is cooking, Kate is playing chess, Mary is doing laundry. What's the 5th sister doing? Think about it, guys. Okay, interesting, right? What's the 5th sister doing? Think. It's a riddle. We will get the answer at the end of the session. Till then, give it a thought. And now we will enter into the chapter Nelson Mandela. Now, who is Nelson Mandela, or rather, who was Nelson Mandela? Nelson Mandela was a South African anti-apartheid revolutionary statesman and philanthropist. Now, please note, guys, apartheid is a very important concept which you will find in this particular chapter. Apartheid is a policy of racial discrimination, okay, that was followed in South Africa. All right, and Nelson Mandela took the lead took the lead in fighting against this policy of apartheid, right? And he served as the president of South Africa from 94 to 99. Please note that. He was the country's first black head of state, very, very important, and the first elected in a fully representative democratic election. Prior to Nelson Mandela, it was the policy of apartheid which was followed, whites dominating in every aspect, okay, and blacks having no freedom, no voice. They were suppressed, they were oppressed, they were put into jails, they were tortured brutally. And who fought, who struggled, and that's why it is said the long walk to freedom, that was led by Nelson Mandela, okay, and he was the first black head of the state. Please note, his government focused on dismantling the legacy of apartheid, as I told you, by tackling institutionalized racism and fostering racial reconciliation. So guys, there was an end that was put to the policy of racism, racial discriminatory policy called apartheid, where blacks were discriminated, they were treated as subhumans. Now, do you find a similarity with the Indians as well? Even Indians were under foreign domination and they were also discriminated on the basis of their skin color, right? They were also treated as subhumans under the British domination. Don't you think so, guys? So let us find out more about this famous and very inspirational personality, Nelson Mandela. This is how the session would look like. Analysis of the chapter, vocab, quiz and mind map. But yes, guys, quiz questions, you need to participate, everyone. I want full participation. Can we go ahead with that? Homework question at the end of the session. Please post your answers for the homework question in the comment section. Don't forget to do that. And now let's begin with the analysis of the chapter. Okay. Now, 10th May was the golden day in the history of South Africa. Why? Because that was the day when Nelson Mandela was elected as the first black president after more than 3 centuries of white rule. Just imagine, guys, 3 centuries of white rule constantly and 3 centuries of black suppression. Okay, after this, obviously 10th May was the golden day in history of South Africa, because this discriminatory policy of apartheid came to an end and Nelson Mandela was elected as the first black president. A large number of readers from more than 140 countries around the world had come because this was a historic moment, right? The inauguration ceremony took place in a lovely sandstone amphitheater. Okay, it was formed by the Union buildings in Pretoria. Okay, guys, and Mr. Mandela, who accompanied him, his daughter Zinani, right? And his swearing in was preceded by Mr. De Klerk, who was sworn in as the second deputy president. Please note all these things, very important. Thabo Mbeki was sworn in as the first deputy president. So please note the names of the second and the first deputy presidents as well. Okay, so then Nelson Mandela promised to bring a society in which humanity would be proud. Okay, very, very important. So no more discriminatory policy. And he would devote himself, he pledged to devote himself to the well-being of the republic and its people. Before moving forward, guys, let me give you a very happy news. Vedantu students are unstoppable and you are unstoppable, guys, because we have outstanding results in JEE Main 3 with 100 percentile. So let's give it up for our Vedans. Come on, people. So if you also want to join us, guys, in the NTSE subscription or maybe, academics, your grade 10th CBSE, you can join us by clicking on the link which is there in the description box and pinned comment. If you want to join us for NTSE subscription, guys, Vedantu launches its first NTSE live crash course where you would get the following subjects: mathematics, physics, chemistry, bio, mental ability and social studies. You can see, guys, 139 selections in NTSE 2021 and still counting. A big round of applause for our NTSE rock stars as well. And you can be the next one, guys. Hurry up and visit the link in the description box and pin comment. And don't forget to use the coupon code. You would avail 60 hours of live classes, 50 plus chapter wise and 14 plus mock tests to make you test ready. And classes taught will be live. It would be recorded and you can watch it anytime. And also in the class, your doubts would be solved by our expert class teachers. Also, you have the Vedantu's app, which would be available to you and you can solve your doubts even post class. You would get in-depth solution and analysis of the previous year's papers and also you would get summary notes. So what are you waiting for, guys? Be it NTSE subscription or be it your 10th grade academic performance, Vedantu guarantees your improvement in your academics, guys. So hurry up. If you think that your performance is not it's not improving for even after joining the long term for Vedantu, guys, we will ensure that you get back your course fee. So that is the promise that Vedantu makes. Yes. So padhai mein guaranteed improvement. So what are you waiting for, guys? Don't forget to apply the coupon code in order to get the 10% discount for NTSE subscription, guys. Okay? And you can also avail the coupon code for your CBSE grade 10th academics. Okay? Now coming into the text. He also expressed gratitude to all the dignitaries and the world leaders from different countries who had joined to pay him respect and gratitude. Now please note over here, earlier, prior to Nelson Mandela becoming the head of the state, all the people from other countries had severed or had cut off their relationship from South Africa owing to the policy of discrimination, the apartheid policy. But when Nelson Mandela became the first head, it became a historic moment and dignitaries from all over the world came and congratulated him, right? And he then claims that freedom should rule. Okay, so freedom is given importance over here. So that's where we talked about, that's why we talked about freedom at the very, very beginning of the chapter. And then the newly elected president's address to the audience, an impressive arrangement of fighter jets. So that was, spectacular. It symbolized perfection as well as military respect and obedience towards the free country. So this is very, very ironic, guys. The military now respected Nelson Mandela in that particular state where the blacks were treated as subhumans and they were put into jails. There, the military is now respecting Nelson Mandela, who is the first black head of the state, right? And finally, the air show ended by making of the South African flag in the sky. What a beautiful and spectacular show! And on the symbolic date, 2 national anthems were played. This was the new national anthem, guys. This was sung by the whites, and this was sung by the old republic was also sung by the blacks to show. So 2 national anthems, the whites and the blacks, both were sung, and that was definitely a showcasing of the solidarity of the blacks and whites. So no discrimination, neither the blacks getting importance nor the whites. Everyone is equal. That was the that was the symbol, okay? And Mandela knew that the two groups had one despised each other's national anthems. So that is exactly the reason why he played both the national anthem, so that there is the feeling of love instead of hate. Okay, no one should despise the other group. On this occasion, Nelson Mandela also remembers the days of the past where whites had dominated the blacks. Okay, and that was the apartheid policy. However, in the last decade of the same century, this has been overthrown, and now the South Africans enjoy equal rights. So if you remember, at the very beginning of the session, I asked you, what do you mean by freedom? Didn't you guys say that freedom means equal rights? Yes, so that is what they have got now. On this special day, okay, look at the freedom fighters, guys. Names of the freedom fighters, you have to remember at least 2 or 3 of the names of the freedom fighters which have been mentioned in your text. Okay, and Nelson Mandela pays homage, a special homage to these freedom fighters. So these are the names of the patriots, guys, and he says that he himself, Nelson Mandela, is a sum total of these patriots who have sacrificed their lives for the freedom. Okay, so now tell me the answer to this question in the chat. According to Mandela, what does depth of oppression create? If you have gone through the text, guys, please let me know. Gender discrimination, poverty, lack of freedom, or heights of character. Nelson Mandela in the text very clearly says, depths of oppression creates dash. What does it create? 3, 2, 1. Let me see, guys, if you have got the answer correct. It creates heights of character. Well done, people. Well done. So moving ahead, guys. Okay, so South Africa, he says, is rich in minerals and gems, but the greatest wealth of South Africa is its people. Because even if you have, gems and minerals, but if people do not have access to it, obviously before the coming of Mandela, the whites were having rights to and access to everything, and blacks were deprived of everything, right? So what's the use of having a nation rich in minerals and gems where people, a certain section of people, do not even have access to it, right? So that is very important. And what is the greatest wealth? It's people. Because only people, if they struggle, they fight against these discriminatory policies, only then they would have access to all of this. And South Africa is rich because it has good people. Okay, and these people who have fought the long battle and finally became victorious on this historic day. And when he said that heights of oppression creates depths of oppression creates heights of characters, it made me remember, or it reminded me of the chapter of the poem called Wind. So did you read the poem called Wind? I'm sure you must have read it in 9th grade, right? So if you remember, the poet had said that we should make friendship with wind. Wind as a symbol of adversities. Why? Because that would help powerful fire to roar and flourish. Remember? Similarly, guys, Nelson Mandela also thinks that if we overcome our challenges, okay, then we would create our personality. We would shine brighter. Gems need polish, need friction to make it shine, right? Similarly, men also need the negative circumstances in their life, and that is the test, that is their trial. If they are successful in that trial, guys, they would shine out, and that is the shining out is the heights of character. So yes, oppression, suppression is the negative situation, but it would create heights of character. It would polish you if you overcome those challenges in your lives, right, guys? So that's what Nelson Mandela said. He further said that he has learned the real meaning of courage and selflessness from these patriots. He learned that courage did not mean absence of fear. Very, very, very important. Did you guys see the ad of Mountain Dew. How many of you have seen the television commercial of Mountain Dew? And if you remember the tagline of Mountain Dew, anybody who can tell me the tagline of the TV commercial Mountain Dew? Anyone in the chat, please? Isn't it डर के आगे जीत है? So that's exactly what Nelson Mandela said. Courage is not absence of fear. डर सबको लगता है, which means everybody has fear, right? But when a person is courageous, डर सबको लगता है, लेकिन डर के आगे जीत है. So when the person is able to overcome the fear, and then the person becomes victorious, and that particular person is called courageous, right? So the man who overcomes his fear is called brave. So how does Nelson Mandela define the meaning of courage? Absence of fear, triumph over selfishness, or none of the above? Bataiye. Come on, people, you can do it. Okay, can we see? Have you all given your answers? 3, 2, 1. Let's have a look. Triumph of fear. Yes. So triumph over fear. Triumph means victory. Okay, victory over fear. डर के आगे जीत है. Just remember this. Remember the Mountain Dew tagline, and you will remember this as well. ठीक है? Okay. So Nelson Mandela shares some of his gems of wisdom in his speech. He says that being black or white is not a token of goodness and superiority. The color of our skin does not decide whether we are superior or inferior, right? And he also remarks that every individual has twin obligation. Twin means two obligation. Obligation, duty. First, personal duty, personal commitment, family, friends, okay? Second is community and country. So his duty towards his family, the duty towards his community. And he says that every man should fulfill both the duties. Okay, he says that people should, and he also says that sadly South African people were not able to fulfill both the duties. Why? Because once when they tried to fulfill the duty towards the society, they would be put into prison, and they would be also not able to fulfill their duty towards their family. So they were actually deprived of everything. Both their duties they could not fulfill. Okay, and then he says, very, very important, we should love. Love is more important, okay? Rather than hating, rather than spreading hatred, rather than despising each other, what should we do? We should spread love, because love is a more natural feeling, okay? See, if somebody talks about against somebody, if somebody is talking constantly negative about somebody, then what happens is you have hate for that person. For example, X talks about Y to you, and he constantly talks negative about Y. Obviously, you would be having hatred towards Y then. So that hatred is not your natural feeling. It has been ingrained inside you, right? But love is something which is naturally coming. So therefore, it is easy to spread. If hate can spread so wildly, then why not love, which is more natural to human beings? That is what he says. So according to Mandela, which flame can be hidden but never extinguished from human? Man's love, man's natural way, man's goodness, or none of the above? Come on, let's see how many of you can answer this. 3, 2, 1. Let's have a look. Man's goodness. Please note, man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden, but it can never be extinguished. Very powerful line. Yes, guys? Okay, so he says that the idea of freedom kept on evolving as he grew up. So when he was a child, his idea of freedom was something else. It was limited to his personal freedom, but it kept on evolving as and when he grew up. Okay. So as a child, now this is very important because you get a lot of questions from here. What was freedom according to Nelson Mandela when he was a child? So when he was a child, it was just his personal freedom. It was limited. Okay, running in the fields, swimming in clear streams, riding on the backs of slow-moving mountains, staying out at night, reading according to his wish, all of this, following the rituals of his own tribe. Okay, these were the freedom that he talks about as a child. But when he grew up, he understood, he realized that this freedom was just an illusion. Okay, what was the real freedom? Real freedom was the freedom of your own rights. If you're not deprived of anything, then you are in a free country. But he realized that it was not just he himself or his family, but everyone who belonged to his race, who had the same skin color as he had, were deprived of even the basic rights. So then the entire concept of freedom becomes illusionary. So that is why when he realized and when his freedom, the concept of freedom evolved, he joined the African National Congress, right? Because he realized that it was not only him whose basic rights were snatched, but all those who looked like him. Very, very, very important. So the desire of freedom transformed him. How? From a frightened young man to a bold one. Very important, guys. Okay, a law-abiding person into a criminal in the eyes of law. Why? Because he was trying to resist, he was trying to struggle, fight against everything that was in the law. And what was the law of the land during that time? Apartheid. So obviously he was fighting against the discriminatory policy of apartheid, which was the law that time. So he was revolting, right? So definitely he was a criminal. Family loving man to a homeless man, because now he was working not for his family alone but for the entire nation. So he became homeless, right? Because he was put into prison. He spent long 25 years in prison fighting for the freedom of his nation, right? Mandela wanted the oppressor and the oppressed both to be liberated. Why? This is a very, very important line. He thought that both the oppressor and the oppressed are not free. Who are the oppressor over here? The whites. Who are the oppressed? The blacks, right? The whites are oppressing the blacks. So what does Nelson Mandela say? Even the one who obviously who is oppressed, his rights are snatched, he has no freedom. That is fine, that we understand. But even the whites who are oppressing, they are not free. Why? They are stripped of their humanity, number one. They have no humanity because they are oppressing the other one. And second, they are a prisoner of hatred, prejudice, and narrow-mindedness. Therefore, they are robbed of their humanity. Okay? So, prisoner of hatred, prejudice. So, prejudice, hatred, and narrow-mindedness, that is imprisoning the mind of the oppressor. That is why the oppressor is also not free. He is also robbed of his humanity. He is robbing the black. The whites are robbing the blacks of their freedom. But in the same process, please understand, in the same process, the whites are also robbed of their humanity. Right? Very, very, very important and beautiful and significant line, guys. Freedom was indivisible. And with that, we come to the chapter mapping. I will quickly go through the chapter mapping, guys. Very important. He served, he served 27 years, not 25. 27 years of his life in prison. And he is, as I told you, he is South Africa's father of the nation. He worked to protect the rights of people, but obviously he was frequently arrested. Just think about the, the freedom fighters of India. If you remember the names of the freedom fighters of India, please post it in the comment section, guys. Okay, think about Bhagat Singh, think about Chandrasekhar Azad, think about the other freedom fighters who were always thought to be criminals in the eyes of law, right? Similarly, Mandela was also thought to be a criminal because he was always arrested by the white police. He received more than 250 honors, including the Nobel Prize for Peace. Very, very, very important. 1993, he got Nobel Prize. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Peace. India has honored Mandela by giving him the highest civilian award, Bharat Ratna, in 1990. Important facts that you need to understand. Now, talking about the themes in the chapter, obviously he talks about racial discrimination, okay, the whites and the blacks discrimination, equality. The whites and the blacks should be equal. No one should despise each other. No one should be dominating each other. Self-sacrifice. He had sacrificed 27 years of his life to fight for the freedom of the entire nation. He also talks about the other African patriots who sacrificed their lives. Heroism. Courage is not the absence of fear, but overcoming it. Importance of kindness. Love. Importance of love, which is more natural to human beings. Responsibility of man as a social being. We all fulfill our responsibility towards our family. But what about the responsibility towards our society, guys? Do we also shoulder those responsibilities? Very, very important point that he has raised over here. And political emancipation. Emancipation means freedom. So when I talked about your idea of freedom, did you think about political freedom? Because political freedom is the most important freedom in a nation. Okay. So what is the message? Peace and unity of mankind. Now look at the vocabulary, guys. Please note what are the very, very important words. Besieged. Okay. Dignitaries. Sandstone. These words come in your exam. Amphitheater. Very, very important points, guys. Important words. And then deputy, sworn, okay, outlaws. Please look at these words and understand their meaning. Emancipation, I think you know already. And yeah, so that's it. These are the most important words which you should know. Apart from that, go through the vocabulary section. Okay. So with that, guys, we have come to the end of the session and I want the riddle answer from you. I'm sure you people were waiting for the answer to the riddle. So what do you think? What have you got as the answer? Did you come out with an answer? Did you come up with an answer, guys? Let us find out in 3, 2, 1. Yes. The fifth sister is playing chess with Kate. Okay. So there are 5 sisters. Kate is playing chess. So the fifth sister is the opponent of Kate. Okay. So how was the riddle, guys? Did you enjoy? So now, guys, please show some love by hitting the like button. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. And share the video amongst your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel in case you have missed have missed any other notification, guys. In case you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And guys, your homework question is, would you agree that depths of oppression create heights of character? How does Mandela illustrate this? Can you add your own examples to this argument? Please, please, please feel free to add your examples. You can add examples from the poem Wind, which you had studied in grade 9th. I have cross-referred to that particular poem. You can also cross-refer to enrich your answer. And do let me know your answers in the chat, in the comment section. We would be taking up your comments in the next session, guys. Don't forget to do that. Till then, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you people did enjoy. So take care. Bye-bye. See you very soon in the next session. Bye-bye.